Hello everyone and welcome to New Beginnings, my everyday life in rural Cyprus. Big welcome to you. Let's see if we can do this today. I had a terrible Sunday. I fell down 6 times in about 30 minutes. Complete fall down, complete. So I just had a bit of a bad day there, and then it got progressively worse. So we'll see what we can do today, shall we not? Let's start first of all today with the quote. So the current quote for Mondays is thus. So, looking in the chat, we have Steve and Tina Jewell with us today. Thank you for being here. Yes, thank you for being here. And they're saying, let me see what the comments are. In the comments, they're saying over there, daylight saving has started today for them. Yes, it's different all around the world and it gets so confusing if you're trying to watch someone's live, just to try and figure out when things are actually on and when they're not on. And this is the time of year we have 2 changes of the times, the clock's going forward and back. And I just get so mixed up when people are on because our time doesn't change until much later. So we're still on our original time right now. Okay, let's get started today, and let's start first of all with this segment for today's first topic. So we're talking about the time of year that it is in Cyprus, and it's carnival time, and it's saying that visitors stream into Limassol to watch the big carnival parade of floats, and at night people dance until the early hours, which is Clean Monday. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I kept like pausing. Do you do that when you sneeze? You're like, oh, shall I wait and sneeze in a minute? Stephen Tina saying, yes, winter time works well for your live with us. Yes, that way round. Okay, so Clean Monday sets an end to carnival and fasting begins. On this day, everyone goes out into the fields or countryside in big parties to celebrate the so-called cutting of the nose of the 40 days. Huge baskets loaded with greens are the main favourite of this holiday. All greens are eaten raw as they come and not made into salads. Well-washed crisp lettuce, spring onions, broad beans, celery, artichokes, coriander leaves, sweet vetches litter the tables or tablecloths that have been spread on the ground. Of course, there are plenty of black and green olives and quite a lot of specialities and delicacies. They also eat crab meat, squid, mussels, octopus, etc. Wine flows freely, and there's a lot of singing and merrymaking right into the afternoon. Now begins the long 50 days of fasting, the Pentecost. 50 days. That's how you get the word Pentecost, Penty. The days are actually 48 because 2 fasting days fall into the carnival period. During these weeks, a very beautiful and original sermon is held every Friday evening in honour of the Virgin Mary. The sermon, greetings during which they call, and sitting hymn is sung. The custom originated in 620 AD when Constantinople was threatened by barbarian enemies from both east and west. At that time, Emperor Hercules was absent, and the city was besieged from both land and sea. Although the citizens tried to defend the city, they knew that they were outnumbered by the enemy, so all turned into prayer to the Virgin to protect the city. The whole town gathered in St. Sophia Church to pray. Suddenly, a terrible storm arose and sunk the enemy vessels in the Hellespont. The people of Constantinople, seeing this miracle, took courage, attacking the enemy on the land and put them to flight. That night, the whole city again gathered in the church of St. Sophia for thanksgiving. In order to honour the Virgin, everybody remained standing throughout the service, which lasted the whole night, while the Archbishop sang a long hymn in praise of the Virgin, starting each new verse with a different letter of the alphabet and singing a special hymn depicting the triumph victory. Nowadays, instead of singing the whole of the hymn to the Virgin in one night, it is divided into 3 parts and sung on 3 consecutive Fridays, while on the 4th, very nearly all the verses of the hymn are repeated. The service starts about 5 o'clock in the evening, and in town churches, the singing is usually performed by choirs of school children. This particular hymn is the most melodious in the Orthodox hymnal. To celebrate Easter, everything should look clean and new, so houses are cleaned, painted or whitewashed, and new clothes are a must, especially new shoes. So there's a nice little bit of information there for you. Stephen Tina say might have to head out to work at 9 a.m. Might have to go at 9 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to now show you a little bit that I have for a promotion of one of my playlists for this month. So do check this out on my channel. And that's my house in that last little shot there. That is, you can see there's nothing around me. So that is, look out for that next time I show it. That last shot is my actual house, and you can see the location very well there. And I wonder how many of those bugs and insects you actually can identify. How many of them do you know? Steve and Tina say some bugs are tastier than others. My cats, 2 of my cats really like the hawk moths. They really like them. And if you look at them, they do look quite fat and juicy. Oh, and I found a bird head in my garden today. I'm not really sure quite what it is. I would say like a gull, like a gull, very big. The head itself was about that big, not including the beak, the actual head. The beak was quite hooky, very long, about that long. It had a sort of swan sort of shaped neck, and that was all there was of it. I think a fox probably had that. I would say some sort of gull. I've got to look up. We're going to do the bird book, so we'll have to see what that is. But really big head, really big. And I just was filming in the garden, some flowers, and I was like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's a massive head. I thought it was one bird. That sort of, imagine like a pigeon. That was the size of just the head and the neck. So that gives you some idea. Okay, before we do birds, let's do this. So I thought we'd talk about one of my new herbs today, and this is because I'm writing down little things I find out about the herb. This is my writings, and I'll share with you, and then you can tell me if anyone grows it, anything important I may have missed. So we're talking about oregano, and Americans would say oregano. English say oregano. So I know you say oregano, some of you. So let's just go with that. In Old Greek, it means mountain of happiness. Did you know that? That's where the word comes from. It means mountain of happiness. It's a perennial, best in pots, so you can control that it doesn't get too over moisture. So it needs to dry out. It doesn't want to be wet at all. Needs full sun with good drainage. This is why sometimes terracotta pots are recommended, because obviously then they dry out much more. It suffers greatly in wet soil. If planting in the ground, therefore, and you're somewhere where it rains a lot, it's going to then suddenly get a lot of water. So when you dig a hole where you're going to plant it in the ground, add a good amount of gravel and then the plant. So that's a good tip if you are going to put it in the ground. And obviously any pot you have must have drainage. In cool areas, it does die back in winter and regrows in spring. Now it says it grows to 4 inches tall. I believe there may be varieties that can grow bigger than that, but of course it's something you need to trim and keep it bushy. Pinch or trim lightly to encourage the denser and bushier plant. You can grow it from cuttings. This is something I'm always interested with, new things, what you can grow from cuttings, because I buy one of new things first just to understand it, get used to it, but then I don't like them to go to seed because then I've only got one. So something such as my rosemary, I've now bought a second one so the first one can go to seed, because I'm always worried if you collect the seeds and they don't grow, you've got nothing. So I will then buy a second one, but for now I have one of all my new herbs. So to take cuttings from 3 to 5 inches long of young stems. Remove the leaves from the bottom half and place in root compound before planting. The flowers are edible and can be purple, pink, or white. They appear in late spring. The flavour in the leaves starts to decline as the plant blooms, so some don't allow it to bloom. Pick midsummer just before it blooms. It's normally eaten dry, but you can eat the leaves, and some people eat the stems and the flower buds too. You can make garlic and oregano pesto, which freezes well, so that's something to look into. It is stronger dried than it is fresh. For a big harvest, cut the stems just above the plant's lowest set of leaves. This encourages new growth for the next cutting in late summer. It has a warm, pungent flavour with a lemon aroma. It goes well with basil, parsley, sage, chives, coriander, mint, and thyme. It deters cabbage butterfly and cucumber beetle, but don't plant it with things that you will water a lot. So obviously don't plant it in a bed with some of those things where you'll get those bugs, because you'll need to water those. It's a good idea maybe to have it in a pot raised on a stone or something nearby. Companions are cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumber, lettuce, peppers, pumpkin, and zucchini. So there you go. I hope you learned something new there today. And if you've got any tips for those that I haven't mentioned, then please let me know, as I'm trying to expand my herb capacity and learning. So I haven't really grown many herbs before, and I don't really cook with herbs. So that's something I want to do, as I'm so limited now as what I can eat. I want to maybe add different flavourings to the few things that I can eat. So let's go on. Let's go on to this. So we're looking at birds, and I will have to flick through this later and see if I can find that bird. And today we're talking about one type of woodpecker, the green woodpecker. Is this as common as the normal woodpecker you will probably know? So there is the green woodpecker. And it says length 32 centimetres, which is 12.5 inches. Large size and bold colours make the green woodpecker an exciting visitor, but it's not a common garden bird. Its bill, which is weaker than that of other woodpeckers, is used for chiselling softwood only. Green woodpeckers drill holes into lawns where there are ants' nests and push their long tongues into the soil to eat the insects. The juvenile is speckled and barred. The adult has a black face, red crown, and yellow rump. Tip of the tongue. The tongue can be extended 10 centimetres, 4 inches, so its flat, sticky tip can reach insects living deep in holes and crevices. And here, if you can see this small picture of him with the tongue out. Look at that. Never knew that. That's awesome. That's something different for sure. Voice. A loud laughing call can be heard. That's an interesting one as well. Steve and Tina say, we get woodpeckers on the metal road signs making a din. Goodness. Feeding. Woodpeckers mainly eat ants, but also prey on beetles, moths, and flies. Bird table. On rare occasions, green woodpeckers take fat and mealworms. Nesting. Green woodpeckers may nest in large gardens if they can find suitable trees in which to excavate holes. The nest has a depth of up to 50 centimetres, 20 inches, and an entrance 6 centimetres, 2.5 inches in diameter. It may be reused in succeeding years, but starlings tend to take over. And here, if you can see the small picture there, it's got a little baby in there. There's that. Nesting box. Green woodpeckers may use large enclosed nesting box. Nest hole. A woodpecker takes 2 to 3 weeks to excavate its chamber. Goodness. Close up, you can spot the male by the red in his moustache. Nesting information. April to July. 1 brood. 5 to 7 white eggs. 17 to 19 days incubation, both sexes, male at night, 23 to 27 days fledging, and 3 to 7 weeks until independent. So that's one of the woodpecker family. Let's do the more common one as well, which is the great spotted woodpecker. That's the one I believe more people are familiar with. And yes, you can see his bill is much stronger. Nice sharp bill. Oh, I had Mike sneezing then. It's because we've got so many spring flowers. Woodpecker family, length 23 centimetres, 9 inches. So he's smaller than the green woodpecker. The green woodpecker was 32 centimetres and a normal great spotted woodpecker is 23 centimetres. And I would think the green one would be hard to see on bark. I think it'd be a bit more camouflaged. Great spotted woodpecker, a mixed blessing in gardens. The great spotted woodpecker is an interesting visitor, but it raids nest boxes to eat young birds inside. Cannibal. Like other woodpeckers, the great spotted woodpecker has a stiff tail and unusual arrangement of toes. 2 face forwards and 2 face backward. These help when it climbs up trees and provides a firm base when the bird chisels wood to evacuate holes. Recognition. It is larger than the lesser spotted woodpecker and has white patches on its short wings and red under its tail. The male has a crimson nape. Voice. The song is a rapid 20 times per second drumming of the bill on a branch, which sounds like a snore. The note varies according to the size and type of branch. Oh, that's interesting. You could probably work out what sort of tree it's on. A loud chick is used as a contact call. Feeding. A variety of insects is eaten, from wood-boring beetle to flies caught in the air. Vegetable food includes pine, larch, and spruce seeds. The seeds of birch and other hardwood trees, as well as nuts, fruits, and fungi. In Europe, but rarely in Britain, this woodpecker punches trunks to drink the sap. Bird table. Suet, oats or nuts in a bird feeder or wedged in crevices. Drilling. Holes are bored in tree trunks to extract the insects. Nesting. Both sexes evacuate the nest chamber, usually 3 to 5 meters, 10 to 16 feet above ground. The hole, which is about 30 centimetres, 12 inches deep, 12 centimetres, 4 3/4 inches in diameter, and has an entrance of 6 centimetres, 2.5 inches. Almonds can be opened by the woodpeckers. The nest takes up to 4 weeks to complete. The same hole is used in consecutive years unless it is unsurpassed by starlings. Nest box. Great spotted woodpeckers may use large enclosed boxes. And finally, nesting information. April to July, 1 brood, 4 to 7 white eggs, 10 to 13 days incubation, both sexes, male at night, 21 days fledging, and 1 week until independent. So yes, I guess it's nice to hear woodpeckers if you're not used to them, and it's like, oh, woodpeckers, that's really cool. But of course, to have them all the time, and as Steve and Tina say, on metal, that can probably be quite annoying. Yes, quite a din. Okay, let's go on. First of all, let's have a little look at this little brief interlude and things that I grow in my garden and attract the birds. Okay, let's go on to the next theme of today. Oh, Steve and Tina say nice garden. Thanks a lot. Thank you for that. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. Particularly now we're getting the hot weather. There's a lot of watering and that takes time on its own. Okay, let's go on to this. So hacks of today, we're talking about snack hacks. Snack hacks. So let's have 3 snack hacks today. The first one, finely chop a small onion. Grate 2 ounces, which is 60 grams of cheese, and 1 raw potato. Mix with 1 beaten egg and pour into a frying pan with hot fat or butter and cook until golden. Sounds like a very appetizing snack indeed. Steve and Tina say we're going to start on the garden as soon as the weather warms up. Yes, it's always an exciting time to start, isn't it? To get going. A lot of work if you've got a garden that's overgrown and gone wild during the winter for sure. Okay, second snack hack. Crumble 4 ounces, which is 120 grams of corned beef into 2 pounds, which is 900 grams of mashed potato. Add 2 ounces, 60 grams of grated cheese and some tomato. Grill until the cheese melts. And the last one for today. Use leftover mashed potato for savoury croquettes by adding fine chopped onion, tomato, parsley and grated cheese. Mix well, form croquettes, roll in flour and fry. Yes, so there's some little snacky hacks for you today. So do give those a go. They sound quite simple. Anything I give you food-wise is normally quite quick, simple and frugal. Let's go on to this section. Okay, I have 3 for you today. 3 for you today. Steve's like, I have 3. The first one is, remember, these are from like after dinner speeches. These are from. A visitor to Washington rang President Roosevelt's minister and asked if the president was expected to attend church the following Sunday. I can't promise that, said the minister. However, I have every expectation that God will be there, and that should be sufficient incentive for a reasonably good attendance. The second one. Tom Sheridan, son of a famous playwright and a politician, was selected as parliamentary candidate for a Cornish borough and told his father that if he wins the election, he would stick a label on his forehead with the words "To Let" and side with the party that made the best offer. You do that, Tom, said Sheridan, but don't forget to add the word unfurnished. Okay, and the last one. This is a bit interesting. Lord Haldane had developed something of a pot belly, which Churchill, then a rather brash young cabinet colleague, poked with his finger and asked him, "What are you going to call it?" And he replied, "If it's a boy, I should call him George, after His Majesty the King. If it's a girl, Mary, after Her Gracious Majesty the Queen. But if it's only wind, I should call it Winston." That's quite a good one. That's quite funny. I see we have Blue in the house. Let's say hello to Blue. Blue Self-Reliance. So everyone's saying hello. And let's go on to it's the opposite end to what I've just clicked on. Okay, so let's do a roundup of what's been posted over my channels. It gets my head around what I've filmed, what I've edited, and what is actually posted. And because obviously I edit things and I think you've watched them and you haven't, and then I talk about them and you're like, what? We don't know about that. So let's look first of all on my other channel. Let's see if we can put a ticker up of Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. Can't remember what it was called then. Some such thing. Oh, one film I edited today. I'm saying about artichokes. I'm showing the artichokes in my garden. And I know it began with A, letter A. And do you think I can remember what they were even called? I was like, asparagus, no. Aubergines, no. It took me ages to remember what they were called. Blue says, I'm popping in and out making dinner, so I won't be able to type because it's about to get messy. She does that. She always entices us. She's cooking something lovely and then she doesn't tell us what she's cooking. We have to wait till our hands are free. We guess it's going to be some lovely home comfort food. I'm going to guess. Yeah, some sort of stew or don't talk about the food, Dawn, for goodness sake. Okay, so looking back on this channel, today I posted today. So on the other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, I posted another episode of Dawn's Diary, which is basically lots of little bits. It's a bit like this live. If you don't like something, in a few seconds there'll be something else. So Dawn's Diary it just says Monday and a little clip of something I've done, Tuesday, and something completely different that I've done. And that is really because I often film little bits of things, such as something we've just done or it could be anything, but it's not enough to make a video. And I'm not one of these people who string out a whole video when there isn't much content going on. So these are little bits of, oh, that'd be interesting, or something funny, or something we've just been given. Could be anything, little short thing. And it's my way of using all those bits of footage and keeping it interesting for you. So it could be anything and everything. I can't tell you what that one contains. I remember it was getting something from a local farmer. There was that in it. So a local farmer gave us something. I would have written it down in my big file because I do make a note of what bits I've used. Let's see. Let's find the right sheet. So Dawn's diary, if we can find it. Here we go. So the one I've just posted is something from for helping a local farmer, something I cooked, something passing over our house, some orange blossom from the garden and a ladybird. Oh, bad news, but how I managed to use what's broken, not repair, another use. Oh, bugs, garden bugs, and a bit of one of my cats. So that's what's in that. So that gives you an idea. That's 1 week, lots of little bits. So that gives you a good idea of that. And then prior to that, I'd posted yet another funny signs. Now, if you look at my community post on this channel, every few days I put up a funny sign or something similar. They're not all funny signs, but they might be something to make you think, or maybe sometimes a little quote, or something funny, or something interesting. I've got a few interesting things coming up, did you know type of things, but often funny signs. But if you want to see a whole video of them, there's a whole lot of videos now on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty that are purely funny signs. So if you love them, I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th one I've posted, so there are previous ones, and at the moment, why there's not loads and loads of them, I'm putting the links to the previous ones in the description under the video. So there's that. And then what's coming up next, I post again on that channel on Wednesday, and I have titled it A Frugal Find, an upcycling project, but made into a productive chill out video. So you watch me doing what I'm doing with my frugal find, but there's no words. It's just you're watching me do it with some chill out music. And so it's a productive but chill out video. So do go over to my other channel and take a look at those if any of those are of interest to you. Blue's making giant spring rolls. Well, I got that totally wrong then, didn't I? I like bean sprouts. I like bean sprouts very much. Okay, so that's what's on Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. And on this channel, I posted today, because both channels I post Mondays and Wednesdays. And this channel I also post on a Friday because I've got more going on. Today I posted my pallet wood vertical growing garden, a little update on that. And also I'm transplanting some of my indoor growing seeds. Now they're big enough to transplant, and a lot are outside now, and just basically general updates. And the previous video to that is obviously more growing from seeds, but I've also given tips on transplanting. So if you're interested in that growing stuff, but as you know, it was never meant to be a growing channel. So I always pepper my channel with lots of other things as well. And on Wednesday, I will be posting a drive through Cyprus. And what I've done is it's kind of, we had to do chores and go do different things. So you see the places where we have to go. So you'll see what certain places look like. So for example, it's driving to have the tyre repaired. The vets, so you see the vets. Remember, I'm not allowed to film indoors anywhere. So you'll see the vets, what the vets looks like, the recycling centre, and obviously driving between all these places, you'll see some absolutely beautiful Cyprus scenery. So you'll see a lot of that going on. And today I did do a bit of filming for my March roundup, my garden diary of March, which basically I just walk around the garden and show you in general what's going on around the garden. And I edited it, and it's 2 parts. So the first one, because some people like seeing all the wildflowers and all the naturalness of our rural land, I've put that in the first half that's going to be coming up soon. And the second half, I've concentrated more on the fruit trees, the vegetables, the hugelkultur beds, the raised beds, that side of it. Oh, and seeds right at the end. You've got to stay to the end of that one, because there's more of, you'll see the whole lineup of how much stuff I've got growing in different areas. So I thought I'd split it that way rather than just mixing it all up over the 2 videos. The reason 2 videos, I don't like my videos to be really much more than 10 minutes. 20 minutes for me is a long video. But if I filmed enough, the second half, because of how I've split it, it's actually a little bit longer. It's probably one of the longest videos I've put up. But obviously I filmed it and I wanted to split it that way. So the second half, when that comes out, is much longer. But that also gives you more of an overview of some of my garden, because some of it is, you see me walk from place to place, and you get more of a concept of where something is in relation to something else. And my tree sponsors, I've added an update of your trees. So you'll see how your trees are going. And I do, just to let everyone know, I do also email those sponsors that I've got emails for. I do actually email them updates of their trees. And I would like to say thank you to Kathleen from my Alabama Farm Life, because at the end of every one of her videos, she puts up a picture I sent her of her tree, saying it's her tree in Cyprus, after every one of her videos. So that is really sweet. So if you want to see it, go and look at any one of Kathleen's videos. So that's my Alabama Farm Life, and you'll see her tree. So sometimes they get pictures, sometimes they get videos. If anyone's interested in sponsoring a tree, just drop me a comment or email me. There is a video about it, which I'll then send you the link to, and you can sponsor any type of tree on my land. So it hasn't got to be an olive tree. You might always wanted a fig tree or pomegranate tree, or I've got so many trees. But this video that I'll send you the link to, if you're interested, it shows you everything that you can sponsor, and it's €20 a month. And for that, if you're paying the sponsorship, you get updates of your tree, you get all sorts of things, but I'll send you all that information. So €20 a month. You could, part of it is you get a dedication for your tree, and you'll see at the end of Kathleen's video what that looks like. And for that, you can put someone's name on it. Could be someone that's departed and you want to have a memory for them, so they have their name on it. You might want your name on it. You might want a business name on it. You might want your YouTube channel name on it, because I do share your trees regularly on my channel as well, so people see it. It can be a birthday present, a wedding present. So you choose what name or thing you want written on the attachment to the tree. And you get that, and you get updates, video updates, photo updates, all sorts of things. As I say, you can choose any tree. it's your tree as long as you're paying. You can stop at any time, so you might want it as a one-time thing. 20 euros, 1 month, you have the tree. You might want to do a year, you might want to do a few months. You might want to sponsor one type of tree 1 month, then change to a different sort of tree and sponsor a different tree the next month. It's up to you, but you can just pay 20 euros and have it one time, or continually. Obviously, something like an olive tree, if you sponsor it for a year, then you're going to have a full record of the full cycle of your tree. So it's up to you if you're interested in that. As I say, either drop me a comment, email me, or look up on my channel if you can find the video yourself. It's all about how to sponsor the tree. So I think I'm going to finish there today. I need rest. So I want to thank you all as normal for being here. I do appreciate it very much. It gives me motivation to get here and put out something for you. I hope you enjoyed the content, and I will be hopefully back here on Wednesday. So do drop by and say hello. Don't forget to share the channel and hit that thumbs up. So until next time, thank you and see you soon. Bye for now.